fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
The money line is live. We got the St. Patrick's Day edition coming at you guys for a sweet UFC London card this weekend. Mike, what's up, my brother?
Brother, celebrating St. Patrick's Day with all of you lovely people. I am great, man. I'm in paradise out here in Huntington Beach again. They had me up there freezing in St. Louis last week. Now we're all good, man. It's all good in the neighborhood. I'm even getting a little tan, bro. I was at the beach yesterday. This is how you do St. Patrick's Day right, brother. Good to see you on St. Patty's Day. How's yours going?
Dude, I mean, it's a beautiful day for me. For me, the true holiday is talking the fights with you, especially with the hat, bro. We had somebody pointed out right here. That hat's looking fly, Mike. That hat's looking fly. You're going to get a lot of love for that hat, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I will sign it for our biggest fan. Go ahead and drop in the little donation, highest donation. I'm sending that shit to you guys. Listen, I went to get that big-ass hat. You know those big ones? And they didn't have it, so I had to go the other way. I went tiny hat. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you very much.
I like it, bro. You look like you stole it off a leprechaun, man.
I'm not going to talk about that one. I don't talk about how I got it, but I do got it for you guys. So maybe a leprechaun is missing a hat. I do have one thing to celebrate for St. Patrick's Day here. We got a bottle of proper 12 Irish whiskey. Jameson, who the fuck is that guy? Irish whiskey on St. Patrick's Day. We'll go ahead and do a little toast later on, guys. Get in the mood. It's St. Patty's Day. We're going to have some fun talking about fist fights.
Absolutely. And fantastic McGregor impression, man. I haven't heard that one from you, man. You're the king of the impressions, Mike. You're the king. I just got to shout out my guy giving us some ultimate love right here. Best MMA channel on the planet. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. We're putting in the work each and every week, and the money line is popping. And dude, I'm digging the graphics for St. Patty's Day. We got a great look, man. Shout out to the graphic designer Kusha for doing an absolutely amazing job with the work. Now we have a pretty fun card this weekend. I'm stoked, bro. Does this have a pay-per-view weekend feel to you too, or is it just me feeling like this is a pay-per-view weekend?
It has a lot of phenomenal matchups. I don't see any of those big pay-per-view fights where, you know, they're going to sell out the MGM, but there's a lot of fights where, man, like the return of Gunnar Nelson, I'm so excited for. There's a few of those, right? Paul Craig is back. I mean, there's a few fun fights on this card. Topuria's in. I mean, we can keep going on, right? Hooker at 45. There's just a lot of fun stuff going on. So I'm definitely excited for this card. I have that type of excitement heading into this one, definitely.
Yeah, bro, I'm stoked as hell. I'm looking forward to breaking it down and hearing your takes because I don't know any of them this week. So I'm very excited to hear. I want to jump right into things. For the people watching, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, show some love here to the money line. Shout out to everybody watching live and those watching on replay as well. We love you too. And let's start it off. First fight of the night. I think this is the ultimate prospect. It's Mokaev versus Cody Durden. This is a huge matchup, Mike. And we're really going to find out, is Mokaev as good as he seems to be? I mean, on paper, this kid looks like he's maybe the next big thing because he's unbeaten as an amateur fighter, which like is kind of crazy. 23-0 amateur record. That's fucking nuts, bro. That is nuts. And then as a pro, unbeaten too, just won no contest along the way. A lot of ability there. Mike, are you as high on him as the masses, or are you a little bit questioning like, hey, listen, Cody Durden can fight? What are your thoughts on this fight, Mike?
I'm questioning. I think Cody Durden can fight. I think the UFC experience that Durden has will come into play here. I also just don't like the lack of head movement, lack of boxing I'm seeing from Mokaev. And, you know, his grappling looks insane, though, AJ. I mean, when he gets on top of people, he's murking them, man. And, you know, all that amateur experience really does count for something, you know. I'd like to go back and look at more of his amateur fights, which I haven't had a chance to do. But in the United States, like especially when I was doing amateur MMA, it was, you know, I could knee people in the face. I could freaking, you know, kick you. I could do ground and pound. There's no shin guards. There's no headgear. It's like very, very similar to professional MMA. It's got the same feel. Two men step in a cage and one man's going to leave the winner. So, you know, with these amateur fights, you know, don't underestimate that experience. It's still fights, you know. Yeah. With that being said, it's just the UFC is a whole new level. We've seen Durden mix it up more. And, you know, we've seen him get some rounds in, man, and get some time in. He's a well-rounded fighter. I think he could be the better striker in this fight, although you might not think of Durden as a striker. He might have the better hands here, and it's going to be a big tell for me to see, if Muhammad can deal with a, UFC caliber fighter in Durden. So a lot of question marks on this one for me, AJ. How about you?
I guess I have to fall into the hype train side, which, it's come crashing for me before, man. We've bought onto hype trains and they've come crashing down. I like what I've seen so far from what I've seen. I do think Mokaev is still pretty decent on the stand-up game. Like, he looks slick, but Cody Durden does have pro striking experience. I think that's something that a lot of people forget because he's a wrestler. He's got that wrestling tattoo, fought in pro boxing, fought in pro kickboxing. That's good perfection of the craft to have. I mean, it doesn't mean he's going to be a world champ striker, but definitely helps have done pure striking and won at pure striking. But yeah, the ground game, I think, is where Mokaev does his best work. And that's kind of also where Durden has made his bread and butter. I have a feeling Mokaev catches him in a submission. So I'm going to go the Mokaev submission side here on Durden.
I like it. I think Durden's going to split decision him. I think it's going to be close. Mokaev can win this fight. Look, if he wants to make a big run, if all this hype is deserved, then he should be able to get a finish in this fight. And like we were just talking about earlier, his ground game is nasty, man. The last place Durden wants to be in this fight is on bottom, because this guy is not going to be letting him up. It's going to be hell for him if his back hits that mat. With that being said, he's mobile enough on the feet where he's going to be hard to take down. I like Durden in this fight. I think it's going to be a grueling one. I think they're both going to be tired at the end of 3, and I think it'll be the striking accumulation that'll add up for Durden here. Tough fight to call, though. Definitely one I will not be betting on.
Mike Finch not betting this one. I also am leaning towards the layoff side because the lines represent a fight that is slightly different than the reality. Right now, odds for this fight, Mokaev is sitting at a -350 favorite, Durden +370. That tells you the bookies are seeing this guy as all day lock of the week type situation. Whereas in reality, there's question marks. We don't know how he's going to fare in the UFC. And even if he has all these skills to win, what about the UFC lights? It's not IMMAF, amateur fighting. This is the highest level of professional martial arts, and he's on a huge stage. He's not just at the Apex either, which maybe, feels more like a sparring session. He's going to be at the O2, guys. I'm telling you, this O2 is going to be, I think it's sold out. I'm pretty sure it's sold out in like the first few minutes. This is a pay-per-view feel card. I'm going Mokaev for the win, but yeah, definitely I understand people hesitant towards him. I'm leaning that sub side, but I didn't really include him as a parlay addition confidently. I don't want to jump on a guy making his debut with too much, but I do want to note the submission prop, because I feel like if you're playing anything with him, you're probably leaning the prop side. Mokaev to win by sub is +225. Easier said than done. Mike, you feel like it's going long, so listen to this. Over 1.5 is -150. Maybe your money's to be made at that over-under there. I think that's a good betting spot. Durden could get subbed in the first. He has been subbed in the first, but at the end of the day, a lot of people confident this fight's going long. That might be the way to play it, man. The under is good value. It's at plus money, so there's a lot of ways you can look at this fight, but I think when there's so many ways you can look at a fight, that kind of tells you, hey, maybe let me stay off the betting side here, because a lot of people are seeing different things. I'm going to personally lay off.
Agreed. I think that, Durden having his wrestling experience should make this more difficult than just some type of first round finish here. His last loss here was via triangle choke, and that was in the first round. But if you look at a lot of his fights, obviously won that decision just a few months ago. He was able to get knockouts, strangles, in NFC. I'm just looking back in Valor. He was able to win via strikes multiple times. He's gone to decision plenty of times too, though. So although Durden is a finisher, I think the way these two match up, it's going to end up going late. My guess is that if Durden has his way, it's going to be a close fight where he's outboxing him, moving around, landing more strikes, landing more kicks, landing more punches, able to get that decision victory. If it's going for Muhammad's getting that neck, man. He's going to get to the mount position, get to the back, get to bad spots for his opponent, and go ahead and put Durden away. So I 100% agree with that assessment that it's either submission or decision. Those are the probable methods of victory. As you pointed out, I think the lines are a little off, man. If you're feeling a little wild, You know, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend. You know, you want to you want to get a little pot of gold going. You know, talk about Durden.
Durden, I like it, bro. I like it. I'm on Mokaev. Mike is on Durden, but definitely clear to see both sides of that one. I get it.
Yes.
Now, this next fight.
Super excited to see what Mokaev has in store for us. This is a test.
This is a test. Now, this fight's canceled, unfortunately. I just want to bring it up. Nathaniel Wood, Vince Morales off of the card. I was very excited to see Nathaniel Wood, who looked absolutely shredded. Unfortunately, we don't see it. Hopefully, we get him rebooked sometime in the near future. It is what it is, man. Morales was ill. Couldn't find the person to step in. I was honestly hoping that maybe we call up some local guys. Let's get somebody like a Rocky story. Let's give a guy, maybe he's coming off 2-fight losing streak. You bring him in. He's willing to take the fight. You know, maybe he's a flyweight jumping up. Give somebody a shake. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it happen. I do believe they could have if they really dug. And they said, listen, we're going to give Joe Schmo the Rocky Balboa a chance, and we'll start the night off with it. But we're not going to see it, sadly.
It would depend, AJ, on how long ago Morales, they knew he was sick and they knew he pulled out. Do you know the timeline?
He pulled out 2 days ago.
That's tough, bro. That's tough, man.
5 days notice.
You got to get cleared. You got to have the pro license. So it better be somebody who just fought, who just
Topuria's
won.
brother said he'd do it. He was ready at he's 3-1, so he only had 4 fights. So people were like, they didn't jump on it, unfortunately.
Got it.
Hopefully we see them soon, though, man. I did
agreed, man.
I just wanted to chat it up on that one. Yeah, let's keep running though. We got action that's actually going down. Corey McKenna versus Elise Reed. I am very excited to see these girls face off. I'll be honest, it seems like the British region females are getting some heavy favoritism on the lines, at least in this fight here, because the line is super wide. And I'll be honest, bro, Corey McKenna, her debut against Kay Hansen, I remember live, I lost money on that fight because I picked Kay Hansen. And to this day, I think that Kay Hansen should have been given the decision, even rewatching it. But Corey McKenna, being said all that, is not a bad fighter. You know, has a nice submission game if it does get to the floor. Yes. Decent jab, moves well, quick girl, potential. On the Elise Reed side, you look at the UFC debut, it was a shit show. She fought Sijara Eubanks, who's bigger than her, up a weight class, experienced as hell, gives people a lot of problems on the floor. And Elise Reed was obviously destroyed in that fight, and it was one of the few finishes you see on the Sijara Eubanks side, but I see why it happened. I don't think we should just absolutely count out Elise. She's a pretty skilled kickboxer, in my opinion. I think she moves well. And I do think there's good speed there. From what I've seen, she does attack with pretty good combinations, mixing to the body a bit, decent low kicks. Now, my concern is, can she stop the grappling attack of McKenna? Because I do think McKenna's pretty decent on the floor. For the reason of how bad that debut went, I really have to go towards the McKenna side. And even watching films study of some of her fights outside of the UFC, I believe CFFC, she was tested a little bit with takedowns, taking that, even in fights she won. So for me, I just feel like it's very hard to pick against Corey McKenna. I'm going McKenna by submission. Mike, what do you kind of feel on this one?
No, it was a great breakdown. I think that you touched something very important there, which is that there is a pathway to victory for Reed, and that pathway is moving side to side, exiting after she throws, using her feet. You'll see that she'll kind of keep that extra cushion. You know, she likes to just fight a little further back than McKenna does. And what she'll do is she'll hit, slip, step on the outside, and exit side to side. That is actually a great way to fight McKenna. I think she's taller. I think she's a little longer than McKenna. And, you know, McKenna can be a little unpredictable. McKenna can, you know, get a little frantic on the feet. Sometimes she lets her hands go a lot, you know, and all those versions of her can be, you could point fight that type of person. You know, she could just throw the jab out there, slip her head on the outside, kick the calf a little bit, kick the leg, move side to side, and just avoid takedowns for 3 rounds. Easier said than done. McKenna's better than her on the ground. That's a problem. McKenna goes for, I mean, I've seen McKenna outside of the UFC go for like drop Sanagis, right? Which is a judo throw where you turn your back to your opponent.
I was gonna say, I don't even know what that looks like.
Over your shoulder.
Holy
shit.
That's
you know, that's not a that's a high risk takedown, right? And so when you see somebody go for things like that, that just explains to me that McKenna is the type of person, well, she'll jump on that choke. She'll go for that armbar. She'll try to go get that finish. High risk, high reward. Is that the type of person you want to bet on when they're already a big favorite? I'm keeping my pot of gold at home for this one again. Reed does have a pathway to victory. when I honestly give you my breakdown, I think McKenna's going to out-grapple her. I think she'll either go to a decision or find that rear naked choke. But Reed is going to be in this fight, a tough one to pick for me. It's just that seeing the way Reed fought Eubanks, as you just said, Eubanks got to mount and smashed her. I don't like that look when she's up against a better grappler again. I'm going to go McKenna.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. We're on the same side. Now, odds-wise, I do want to mention it is ugly. Minus 240 is the best value you'll find on Corey McKenna to plus 230. Reed, too wide, man. You can't really make too much money on the over-unders here. Your best bet would be going submission because McKenna by submission, listen to this, bro. Is this a misread? Plus 715? I don't know. Like, plus 715, that might be worth a little stab. That's crazy to me. McKenna's plus 715 win by submission.
That doesn't make any sense. McKenna's number one method would be winning by submission. I kind of, this show's called Moneyline, but you know, that kind of looks a little attractive.
That's an attractive play, man. I think personally it's worth at least a mild stab. Let's go plus 715. I do got to note some. Shout out to our guy Houdini Beats. Yo, give these guys a like. He is right, guys. Smash the like button with the donation. Houdini Beats. Much love, my brother. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate that. Like a ton, bro. A ton.
Houdini Beats, you've been here. You've been here with us, man. We appreciate that. You're always tuning in live. Much love, Houdini Beats. That's what I'm talking about, man. Much love. Much love.
Hell yeah.
A shot to you later, my friend. You know what? $20? Come on, bro.
Load them up.
$20?
Load them up.
Come on, bro.
Load up Houdini Beats with the shot. But yeah, plus 715 is insanity. I'll pull Houdini up to give him the absolute shout here as Mike shots it off for you guys. Mike's the shot man tonight. You guys know I'm the shoe man.
It ain't coming out of a shoe, okay?
No.
Let's get that shit straight. I'm barefoot right now. I'm not going no shoe. Houdini Beats. You're the man.
Chug it down, my friend. God bless. Woo! Cheers right to you, brother. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, tip that hat, man. Tip that hat. Great stuff, man. Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same side here. I think we're reading it right. McKenna by sub, man. This is the way to go. I think that's the spot, bro. Let's get it. Let's get it.
She's got a crowd that's going to be behind her. I think she's going to want to finish. That's a big deal, man. When you've got all that noise in there, that'll give you that second wind. It'll give her that energy to go for the finish. I think McKenna submission's a great call with those ridiculous odds.
Ridiculous is right. That's crazy. Play that sub line by a little something if you can. You know, I'm not saying throw the house at it, but you know, sprinkle it. Now let's keep running up this great UFC London card, which has me absolutely stoked. It's Jack Shore, Timur Valiev. On what planet does this deserve to be a prelim fight? I don't know. But unfortunately, it is a prelim fight. And I guess not unfortunately, but for them, they deserve, I think, a higher spot up the card, man. Jack Shore is an unbeaten bantamweight. He might have the goods, bro. He looks pretty damn good. But he's fighting Timur Valiev, who's a proven OG, well-rounded guy, trains with the Dogfighter team. I mean, anybody from that region tends to have a pretty dangerous ground game. Valiev does have pretty explosive striking too. Jack Shore, more known for his offensive wrestling. Now, Mike, looking at this matchup, how you feeling here? Are you on the Jack Shore unbeaten train and still, or are you thinking the O's got to go here?
I'm thinking the O's got to go. But listen, he's good, man. He's got good ground game. His takedowns, I love that shot. He's got one of those shots where he'll go in on the leg, and then really it's the second effort that gets the takedown. You know, he'll shoot in deep, and then that second effort, wherever he goes with it, whether he's going to the back. And by the way, Shore is a magnet to your back, man. Shore does a great job getting to the back. That's why he's finishing all of these people. For you guys at home who don't do jiu-jitsu, it's an important concept to understand how valuable it is to have somebody's back. Why is it better to have somebody's back in a jiu-jitsu context? Well, if you look, I'm facing you this way right now. Why? Because my eyes work this way, my mouth, my nose, my arms work this way, my legs. As soon as I turn around, I can't reach somebody behind me. I can't kick them behind me, right? I can't see what they're doing. The human body is not designed to have another human on your back trying to strangle you. And so it's an excellent position to get to. When he gets there, he wins fights. He will tap people out. He will dominate. He will get TKOs. He will find arm bars off of the back. Shore is very dangerous at getting to the back, and that's the number one thing you look for when you get to the elite levels in jiu-jitsu is how quickly can you get to those checkmate positions of, a perfect back mount. Shore's excellent at it. With that being said, he's in there with a phenomenal grappler, a guy who I think is going to be physically stronger than him, a guy who I think is better at striking than him. So that gives me a lot of problems. I love the momentum Shore is going to come in with. It's definitely a dangerous bet. Shore's a beast, but Valiev has shown us, man. He's been in the UFC. He's shown us what he's capable of. I really think that he is going to be able to defend most of these takedowns. And I think he's the better striker, AJ. So I got to lean towards him with the decision, man.
Yeah, I have a different word for Valiev striker. I say he's like a tight striker. His shots are very, very clean. They're smooth, but they're tight, right? He has a very defensively proficient, I'd say. I mean, granted, he got caught by Trevin Jones, but Trevin Jones, he hit him with a huge shot. It is what it is in that fight. We're not going to look at the Trevin Jones fight, man. But I feel like Valiev's defense, wrestling-wise, is going to be there. Sure, on the opposite side, is not a bad striker, man, more of that upright kickboxing style, but he's going to look to wrestle. And I don't think that's really a high success strategy against Valiev. I do think it's pretty competitive. I think we're going the full 3. I like distance here. I feel like win, decision, Valiev. That's my take on this one right here.
We're on the same page, AJ. We got the same exact finish in mind. Just going all 3, man. Just going all 3, doing his thing, making sure he's striking, making sure he's moving his feet, and making sure he's defending these takedowns. He needs those underhooks when Shore shoots in. And for Shore, obviously, the game plan is to grapple. I think obviously he better be shooting a lot of different shots. If he's doing singles, doubles, getting the head on the outside, coming up the middle with the Wisconsin double, he just needs to stay on it, man. Shoot as many times as Habib does, and he'll be in this fight.
Dude, I'm for sure that we're going over 2.5 rounds in this one. A little pun in there for you guys. I feel like, look at it, over 2.5 minus 245. That's an okay parlay piece. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm for sure of it, man. I'm for sure of it.
That pun hit me really late, but I got it. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that.
I've been messing around with that short pun all week, man. I don't know if it's a hit or a miss, but we keep swinging the bat, unfortunately.
John Cullen says, I need locks, guys. Please help me out. John, I got great news for you. We save our lock of the night for the end, brother. Stay tuned. We got it coming.
Yeah, where is that, bro? I'd pull it up on the screen, but I think I'm too far back, man.
Bottom. Before Gegard, your mother Musasi.
We got you soon, my brother. We got you soon, my friend. We'll give you the soon stuff. Let's go. This is Mike's getting called up. Mike at Box Stores. MMA is overrated. I bet you if we spare, I can clean your.
Brother, if you have not wrestled or done jiu-jitsu, it's a wrap, man. I'm taking you down. I'm taking that neck. It's over, my brother. It's over. I fought glory kickboxer Nico Jefferson. I fought some real people, man. Let's see you get in the cage before you go talking all that smack, my friend. Don't make me dust off the wrestling singlet because I will change levels.
Let's sell it, bro. We got the fans coming out to spar. If you want to try Mike, you can come into the gym and I'll record it and we'll make a video out of it.
Done. UFC Gym Huntington Beach. We got the full-size UFC cage. No excuses, Kevin. I will see you there, my friend.
Hit him up. And maybe he'll give you a free training session afterwards to shore up that wrestling just a bit. But great fight here, man. The odds are actually pretty close, man. I want to note this. Minus 114, minus 115, depending where you're at. Shore is the dog by like ever so slight. It's even money. You can find Shore best value plus 103, I'm seeing, which is a hideous number. Timur Valiev minus 114. So odds are super close. The only thing I'm really interested here is potentially parlaying the over. And then, if you want to touch Valiev by decision, plus 160, short decision, plus 220, I'm going to stay away from it. I'm going to hang out and just stick with my over-unders, man. I'm an over-under guy this week, especially on this fight right here.
I like it. You know me, I only go money line if I give anybody advice. With that being said, the fights that I like to bet on are definitely towards the main card here. A lot of these prelims are close. They're fun fights. But when it's a close, fun fight, you might want to keep your wallet in your pocket.
Very factual. Very factual. Let's keep running up this one. Oh, my God. Nikita Krylov, Paul Craig, bro. I am absolutely stoked for this matchup. I was Surprised to see it down on the prelims here. I don't know if they're going to have a bout adjustment as we get closer to the card. But right now, this is where it's sitting early in the night. I guess early in the day if you're stateside as well. But over you folks over there in England, it's probably nighttime. I don't even know the time difference, but it's something like that. Nikita Krylov is a pretty well-rounded guy. Paul Craig is coming into his own, has stated he's not retiring in 2022. He's going 2 more years, which I was jumping up and down with joy because when he said he was thinking about retiring this year, I kind of was like, damn, like, you know, you're going to stop as you're surging towards the top. Somebody probably got in his ear and said, listen, what are you doing, Paul? Come on. You got a chance to make a fuck ton of money and potentially hold the belt. Now, do I think Paul Craig wins that title? It's a tricky road there. But right now he's got Nikita Krylov, who I would call really a top of the line test for guys. Like if you can beat Nikita Krylov, you're probably contendership level, right? Like you look at the guys Krylov has lost to as of recent are pretty damn good. Names like Jan Blachowicz, Glover Teixeira, Magomed Ankalaev. These are top line guys. And on the opposite side now, Paul Craig, he's kind of like the dark horse, dude. He has a win over Ankalaev, granted 2018, still a win over Ankalaev. Win over Jamal Hill, who just slept Johnny Walker in one punch, and everybody's jumping up and down for it. What side are you on here, Mike? Are you on the hype train of Craig moving up, or are you like, no, I'm going the OG Krylov for the W?
You just made the best case for Paul Craig, brother. That's exactly what I came prepped with as well. How well have those wins aged, man?
Amazingly.
Whoa, those guys are at the top of the division after losing to Paul Craig. Apparently, if you lose to Paul Craig, you're the next title challenger, bro. Like, you know what I mean? This guy has definitely taken some W's from some beasts, man. Magomed Ankalaev at the absolute top of the division. He was able to strangle him with his legs in the closing seconds, literally at the buzzer, man. You know, I mean, Ankalaev has got to look back at that fight and think, damn, I should have just said a prayer, gutted it out, because it was seconds, man, seconds before the fight was over. And then of course Jamal Hill, not a win, AJ. He broke that man's arm. Apparently it was dislocated. I don't know. That thing was hanging around like Gumby. That was insanity, man. So I have rarely seen wins that have aged better than Paul Craig's did. With that being said, we know how Paul Craig gets it done. Submission, right? He's going to have trouble against Nikita Krylov trying to submit him, man. Nikita Krylov's very powerful wrestler, very powerful with his submission game, pretty good striker. I think Nikita Krylov is the kryptonite to Paul Craig's game. I think Nikita Krylov is going to stay safe. He's not going to take too many big risks. He's going to be able to just dominate position, outstrike him, get this decision.
Damn. I'm disappointed that you're saying that, man. I am. I'm very
Tell me I'm wrong, AJ.
I can't tell you for absolute, man. I can't tell you for absolute because I've played this fight in my head and I'm seeing Krylov potentially winning a decision. But I can also see Paul Craig locking up a sub. We've seen Krylov submitted in the past. So there is a chance for the Paul Craig dog here. I think he's a dog with a very hard motherfucking bite, bro. And I think he's coming to attack because right now he's on the surge upwards. Is Krylov going to be the guy that sends him crashing down? If it happens, you won't see any surprise. I would be like, fuck, like it is what it is. But I'm going Paul Craig, man. I'm going Paul Craig.
I like it.
I'm going Paul Craig to win, and I'm going via submission. Let's go. Let's jump at it. Paul Craig locking up a sub. If Krylov is on top of him, he's still in danger, man. Fighting Paul Craig on the ground is danger. If he strikes with Paul Craig, I don't think the disparity is super wide there. I think it's kind of competitive. I'm leaning the side of Craig. Guys that I fear, you know, if Paul Craig's fighting are more of those power punchers, those guys that hit with real one-shot power. I mean, he was knocked out by some lesser guys, some losses that haven't aged well for Paul Craig, but some wins that have aged like fine wine. Now, looking at the lines, though, pure betting side of things here, Paul Craig is a plus 174 underdog best value, Krylov minus 177. So the lines favor Krylov. I mean, a lot of places have him upwards of minus 200. He's definitely a fairly moderate favorite coming in. If I want to touch something here, I'm kind of leaning towards touching Paul Craig by sub. You find it ranging from plus 325 upwards, even plus 450. Maybe that's a line you like. Is it going long? Look at the over under here. Over 1.5 minus 125, over under 1.5 plus 125. So that's damn competitive. This is a scary one if you're throwing money down, because there's definitely a possibility that Krylov can win the fight, man. And like, I'm not telling everybody that Paul Craig is my lock of the week or anything, but I'm going Paul Craig, man. I'm going the Paul Craig train. I'm willing to crash with Craig if unfortunately it has to happen.
Listen, I think Paul Craig's obvious method of victory is just submission, man. That's the type of fighter he is. I don't see him winning a 3-round decision in this fight. With that being said, we've got some phenomenal comments all the way through here. Tawab,
tell me
right
where.
here. My guy,
First
Tawab.
one?
So Tawab, one of my students at UFC Gym Hunting.
Oh, shit.
Thank you for tuning in, Tawab. We appreciate having you here. He's going to let Kevin Smith know what is good. 20 years of wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Don't play around with me, man. All right. And then we got Craig by Houdini Beats. Respect that, Houdini Beats.
I like that.
And then some really good analysis here by Tawab in the last comment there. If you're taking Krylov in this fight, perfect parlay with Topuria. Tawab, we haven't got to Topuria, bro. We'll get there. We'll get there, brother.
We'll get there.
And you're going to get it at a good price. I can't disagree with the guy. Hey, man, I talked to a lot of people about MMA. That kid right there, Tawab, he knows what he's talking about, bro. He knows what he's talking about.
That's what's up, bro. I'll be honest, man. You're trying to fucking push me towards the Krylov side here, Mike. You're making me fucking.
I just think, how is Paul Craig gonna win rounds? Is he gonna win a decision in this fight? Because I see him getting out wrestled and outstruck.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
It's like Craig's got to fucking pull out a heel hook, a triangle, a guillotine, a rear naked. He's got to get that tap. It's going to be hard to do against Krylov, man. It's going to be hard to do. Craig is a beast on the ground, no question. But if you
Krylov,
look at, Jamal Hill
though.
on the ground is, not that good. And, the big win obviously is against Ankalaev, but Ankalaev was kind of dominating that fight. He just got triangled. So are you going to bet on that? I'm not.
I might bet purely submission prop here on Craig. But yeah, I'm torn on this bad boy, but I'm going to Craig's side. I'm not changing my guns. I flip the gun the other way and I get shot right in the face. But we're playing Russian roulette sometimes. It happened to me with fucking Barboza. I was like, fuck. So I'm sticking with my guns on Paul Craig. Submission. Paul Craig. Let's go.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. He said it with his chest.
Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. We got to keep running. We got more fights to talk about on this prelim. We're still in the prelims, man, but they're pretty stacked, bro. It has a pay-per-view feel to me. Shamil Abdurakhimov versus Sergey Pavlovich, heavyweight division collision. Now, Sergey Pavlovich was a guy coming in with some absolute hype, man. Like, he came into the UFC, is like, damn, this guy might be the next big thing. Of course, he runs into Alistair Overeem. There's no shame in losing to, Overeem, especially at that point when they did face off. Some time has passed since he's fought, but he did have a 2-fight win streak by knockout going. Last win was against Maurice Green. I guess that win, it's not huge at this point. Maurice Green's outside the UFC. Marcelo Golm also win outside the UFC. Now, how will he do when he steps into the fight with Shamil Abdurakhimov, a 40-year-old Shamil who's been finished in his past two? Granted, good competition. Dawkins in the last one, Blades before. That's high level as fuck. But I feel like Shamil Abdurakhimov striking, it matches up well for Pavlovich to knock him clean out because he's a little bit slower, especially with time going on. I don't know if you've noticed, like, Abdurakhimov, when he fought Tybura versus Abdurakhimov as of late, man, his body has slowed down. The footwork has slowed. I think that you're going to see him get his block cleaned here, man. Pavlovich has some mean straight punches and he carries heavy power. And for me, he's a hard guy to pick against. I think the wrestling defense is there. I went back and I was watching that Overeem fight and I said, damn, Pavlovich didn't look bad up until getting stopped. Right. I feel like he's going to win this bout here against Abdurakhimov, especially a 40-year-old Abdurakhimov. What do you think, Mike?
I think that when Alistair Overeem hit Pavlovich on the ground, it looked like he broke a bottle over his head, dude. Did you watch that fight again? When he hit him with that ground shot, he swung that thing from his grandma's house, and that thing crashed down like a nuke. That was
underrated goat
like
of ground and
knuckles
pound.
On.
Yeah, facts. Overeem's ground and pound, I feel like it goes underrated, man. Like, you look, even when he fought Brett Rogers, granted, Rogers isn't like top of the line. He beat the living shit out of him against the cage on the ground. Brock Lesnar beating him up against the cage. Granted, the knee started, but yeah, Overeem, man, he was a ground and pound killer. I don't see that same beast with Abdurakhimov, man. Do you think there's a chance for Shamil?
Well, guys, this is mixed martial arts. This is where Gabriel Gonzaga knocked out Krokop with a head kick. This is where you just saw Amanda Nunes get her ass whooped, right, by Juliana Pena. Like, this is mixed martial arts. So I am not going to go that hard, AJ. But AJ, I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is the biggest mismatch on the card. The odds aren't even wide enough. Pavlovich is way faster with his hands, much better with combinations, throws straight punches, like you said, but can also come underneath, over the top, looser, man. And, I just think he's going to go hunting in this fight, man. This is a perfect stylistic matchup for him. I don't think he has to worry too much about the grappling. And he's just going to be able to let his hands go, man. And when he does that, he wins by knockout. I see a quick KO for Pavlovich.
Quick KO. I like that. Quick KO on the Mike Finch side. I'm with you, bro. I think it's going to be probably first round. As far as the betting side, minus 283 best value Pavlovich, but he's more around that minus 300 range. Shamil is a plus 250 dog. So very widespread fight here as far as the odds, but deservingly so. Pavlovich is a problem. Granted, layoff. We'll see how that holds up. Now, I was ready to jump on the Pavlovich by KO line, but we're sitting at minus 190. We're not getting any plus money there, man. That's a wide line right there, Mr. Mike. Now looking towards if there is a bet that you might like, Pavlovich round 1 plus 120. I think Pavlovich is a parlay piece, personally, man. Money line on him, you'd have to throw a substantial portion of the revenue at, because I don't know, man. I feel like it's all Pavlovich, but I don't like betting too much down on a guy that's minus 280 straight. I'd rather parlay him up or look for something a little more close. You feel kind of the same way here?
Look, I take betting expertise. Wow, that proper 12 is kicking in by the type of guys like you and Tawab. You guys really bet on fights. For me, I just assess fights. I break them down. I've been in that cage. Like, that's what I can bring to it. So as far as the odds go, maybe you don't want to touch it. I think he's got to be a 7-1 favorite. I think he's like a 10-1. I would be shocked. I think this is one of the biggest mismatches on the card. Yeah, we got one more coming up we'll talk about, but Pavlovich all day on this one. I would be very surprised if Pavlovich had any problems getting a knockout in this fight.
Yeah, I think Pavlovich knockout. I think you got to go early. I think first round and a half is probably when it's ending. Now you got to make me check the under 1.5. Under 1.5, minus 150. That is the touch, bro. That is the touch, because I think that's you playing Pavlovich and win by KO. I see him getting it done in the first 7.5 minutes of the fight. So let's go. Give me that under 1.5. I like Pavlovich for the W here, and so does Mike, man. I'm glad we got the agreement going. Let's keep running up this card. This next one is our featured prelim of the night. Mike Grundy versus Makwan Amirkhani. Mike, lead us off with a breakdown here of battle of wrestlers. Interesting note, different styles. Freestyle, Greco-Roman. I love the clash here. What do you think?
I love the matchup, man. Look, I think the biggest difference here is actually Grundy is just significantly stronger. When Grundy's on top of you, you are going to gas getting up under that guy, man. That guy is a gorilla. Amirkhani, very experienced, but, been on a little bit of a skid here. I think this is a good moment for Grundy to maybe show that he's made some improvements in his striking. The big question for me is, can Grundy win this fight on the feet? Because if you guys listen to him at the press conference, that's what he was saying. He's like, he's a great grappler. I'm a great grappler. This thing could end up on the feet. That's what I've trained for. I'll take his word for it, man. I think he's going to be ready to go with the kickboxing. And if he's on his A game with his kickboxing, I like Grundy in this fight, man. I think he's going to be able to at least even out the grappling. If he gets taken down, he could reverse position. He could stand back up. He could score one of his own. He can beat Amirkhani, I think, in the clinch because of the strength difference. And then it all comes down to the striking for me. If Grundy shows up on point with the striking, he's got this one. I like Grundy, and I just think that, him being, this is home fight for him, right? That's all I need to hear, man. I think hometown, he's going to go ahead and get it done. Amirkhani, a little bit of a skid. He's going to need to bounce back. You might see him a little more desperate, maybe a little more aggressive in this fight. Be careful, because he's dangerous, and he's definitely a phenomenal grappler. Just kind of a strange matchup for him, man. I'm not sure he's going to get a lot done grappling Grundy, so I'm going to go with Grundy. Close fight, tough one to pick. I'm going to go with Grundy.
Yeah, I like it too, bro. I'm with you on Grundy. Some note, Grundy's dad is terminally ill and he'll be cage side. No way Grundy's losing here. Bet the farm. I like to hear it.
Respect.
I do think that could play a factor. And I'm not a Mach 1 Amirkhani guy. If I don't know what happened with Mach 1. I don't know. He's just not my type of dude, bro. I don't know. Amirkhani, to me, I really don't like picking Amirkhani all that often, because when I have picked him, he's broken late. Seems to gas, and cardio issues to me is one of the ultimate red flags of a guy to give a pick, especially relentless Mike Grundy, a guy who's going to keep pressing. Pressure boxing, really. You look at the striking styles, you have more, I'm going to call it almost like a free-flowing kickboxing style on the Amirkhani side versus more of that tight, hardcore boxing pressure style from Grundy. I think Grundy does his thing. The wrestling there obviously might cancel each other out. I could see Amirkhani getting TKO'd late. A tired Amirkhani who's forced to work a lot here, and Grundy keeps coming, breaks him in the third round. I like Mike Grundy, bro. We're on the Mike Grundy side here, man, for sure. I love it.
Mike Grundy's got a style that makes you tired, and so that's something to definitely think about. Tawab, Amirkhani's farewell fight, I think, man, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me.
I could see it.
I think he's on quite a skid, and it's too bad. He's a talented guy, but just not the right matchup for him, man. And I
think he needs to change gyms potentially.
There's like multiple comments asking me how much I weigh.
How much you weigh, bro?
185 pounds of American muscle right here. Okay, I thought I could fight as low as 55 if I was in fight shape, but 185 right now. We're fat and happy. It's St. Patrick's Day, y'all. We're having a good time. Had a little chicken sandwich today. It might be 190 right now, brother.
Where from, bro? Where from? Where's that chicken sandwich from, bro?
All right, I usually rock with the Raisin Canes.
Okay.
Big fan. On the way,
I need to try it.
I had to hit the Popeyes real quick. No fries. Okay. I ain't messing around with too much carbs. Just give me the chicken sandwich and a water, and I'm out. Right? The Popeyes chicken sandwich. My vote.
A1. It's top. It's top
A2.
of the line.
Yeah, Raisin Canes A1.
Yeah, I think so, bro. I haven't tried out the Raisin Canes yet, but that's definitely on my bucket list. Now, as far as the betting side of this fight, Grundy, I think, would be where you're making most of your money. I mean, he's a minus 175 favorite. Amirkhani plus 160, plus 165, depending where you go. But note this. We're talking about maybe Amirkhani gassing out. Is it crazy to like Grundy by KO at plus 850? Third round, potentially?
No. From Mount, dropping some freaking elbows?
Ground and pound. I'm only seeing ground and pound. I don't really see him catching him with a big strike, knocking him out. I mean, obviously, it's not impossible, but likelihood, I think, a little lower. I'm liking TKO. Inside distance, you could also play, but it's just, the wide line of the KO is something that might be worth betting. Grundy wins inside distance plus 305. So decent notes there. I like Grundy. I like him to win inside distance. I'm leading that KO side because I don't think Amirkhani is an easy guy to tap out. He might get finished, but I don't think it's necessarily under that lock, man. I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, good point. Look, I see it going all three. If this was a 5-round fight, that'd be different. But 15 minutes, I think Amirkhani is going to be in that fight, man. I think it's going all three, but I respect that. And I could see how a tired Amirkhani could be underneath a powerful Grundy in the third round, getting some punches raining down on him. So I like the logic. I'm following you, AJ. I'm just saying decision.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like it. I think definitely possible decision as well. I mean, the official pick was decision, but I'm going TKO, maybe sprinkle that prop as far as the betting side, man. Now, we have to jump up to the main card. The main card, we are talking UFC London. I am here with my guy, Mike Finch. Guys, make sure you smash that like button if you haven't. And if you're new, subscribe. We're talking the first fight on this main card, and it's a sweet one. Jai Herbert, Ilia Topuria. Mike, I know, I think you're high on Topuria, man. So I want you to give us the breakdown on this one. Tell me, what's going to happen when these two step in there? Striker versus grappler, but realistically, Topuria can strike his ass off as well. Up a weight class, though. Note this. He's up a weight class. He was, down at 45. Now he's at 55. Size differential definitely favors Jai Herbert. What do you think, Mike?
Good point. Herbert's long, lanky, and Herbert's got a fast leg kick, man. I rarely see somebody who's able to get a roundhouse kick off and then get back into position as quickly as he does. Does he do it with a lot of power? No, because the Muay Thai is where that roundhouse kick comes from. And when you throw a roundhouse kick in Muay Thai, you turn your hips over and you pivot and you deliver it with a lot of kinetic energy. That's actually not how he throws it at all. He smacks that thing in there and comes right back. It's kind of like a point fighting style, right? You hit that leg, come right back. So I like his long lankiness, and I think maybe he could use that low kick a little bit, keep him at the end of the jab, try to use some footwork, move around. With that being said, Topuria is an animal, brother. Topuria needs one takedown to finish this fight. Now, with that being said, I don't mean to underestimate Herbert on the ground, because he is actually very good on the ground. He's got a lot of wins on the ground. He's done a great job going ahead and getting to dominant positions, getting finishes throughout his career. You know, I was digging back to some of his older fights. He's usually the better grappler. He's not going to be. He's not going to be in this fight, man. I think Topuria at 55 is dangerous. Patty Pimblett calls him hand sanitizer because he got some hand sanitizer bounced off his forehead the other day. Brother, you better bring hand sanitizer and some other weapons, because Topuria is a problem. I think he finishes Herbert and Patty the Batty Pimblett in the same night. I'm going Topuria, rear naked choke, first round.
Wow, rear naked choke. I like that. I like that play. Now, Topuria's striking is good, but with the range difference here, I do think he's going to strive more towards the grappling. I think a tall guy like Herbert could be a little bit of a problem up a weight class as well. I do want to note the height difference. It's massive here. 6'1" for Jai Herbert, 5'7" for Topuria. And there's an 8-inch reach difference, 77-inch reach, 69-inch reach. So definitely standing up. Not an easy night for Topuria, but damn, he hits hard, bro, and he rips to the body well. Guys that attack the body are some of my favorite. And seeing what he did to Damon Jackson, and then after Damon Jackson put on a pretty good performance this past weekend, like it jumps it up. It jumps it up even more. I feel like I gotta go the side of Topuria. Like, you can't pick against him. Come on, you can't pick against Ilia Topuria here. I think he's gonna work over Jai Herbert. I like submission in the first or second. I think he gets it to the floor. On the feet, maybe he has some moments and shocks us all, but I think the way you go here is submission. Topuria, man, definitely. I like Ilia Topuria win via submission. Let me also pull up the odds, though, because I want to give you guys the line. It's so wide towards Topuria. -440 is the best you'll find, but it's upwards in the -500 range. I mean, you can even find it at -900. He's a huge favorite here. Jai Herbert +450, best value. The money's to be made on Topuria if you're looking to throw down. But the thing is, the value ain't really there. Topuria to win by submission, you can find it best value +168. Or if you're like, listen, give me inside distance, it's already at -225. They covered you, man. They play it smart, man. The bookies know what they're doing here, because let's be honest, more likely he gets the sub. Not impossible that he wins via knockout. I got to go win by submission. I think that's the way to go. Maybe Topuria as the parlay piece for the betting side. Maybe you run with Topuria win by sub to throw a little plus money at it, bro. That's kind of my thoughts here with the betting.
I like those thoughts. I agree with you, man. Look, I think the height difference is something really important to point out. And I think you pointed out the other thing, that this is at a different weight class. Those are great, PSAs for everybody, because when you're betting on Topuria, you're just thinking about the past performances. He has two very, very different things to deal with. A much taller, longer opponent who's got great range, great kicks, right? And normally when somebody throws a low kick, it's actually a great time to catch it, and go for a takedown. There are fighters who will just kind of wait on that low kick in order to catch it and take you down. For those of you who have been MMA fans for a long time, I'm sure you remember Rampage and how Joe Rogan would always criticize him for not throwing low kicks. Rampage would be like, man, all I do is fight wrestlers. They all want to take me down. I can't throw kicks. The interesting thing about Herbert is he throws them so fast, I don't think you can catch it. It's very, very difficult to catch a whip, like McGregor, when he throws his front kick, like real quick like that, man, that when you get somebody with good timing who can move on you, who can, get you second guessing a little bit and then whip that kick in there, there is a pathway for Herbert to win. I just don't think he could stop the grappling onslaught of Topuria. I think Topuria, despite coming up a weight class, is going to be much physically stronger. And I think he's going to go ahead and get that neck, get that finish. Topuria's on fire. I think that fire just continues to grow. I am, as you said, very high on Topuria, man. I'd be surprised if he did not finish this fight.
Yeah, I agree. Now, also, I want to note this with Topuria. Is there a chance that he finds his home here up a weight class?
Sure.
I feel like that's definitely possible, man, because it's a cut. I mean, he's not a huge guy, but it's a cut, bro. It's a cut. It's a weight cut. I think win, definitely Topuria. Maybe new home at 55 for him. We're going to see as time goes on, man. But I'm very excited to see what goes down when the cage door closes. And it's hard to imagine Ilia Topuria being the loser on Sunday. I can't see that. I can't see it. I think it's extremely low likelihood. That Paddy Pimblett fight, I'm telling you this, we ain't making that fight for a while. We ain't making that fight for a while. No. As the matchmaker, keep him the fuck away, my friend. Keep him away. That's a scary fight. Topuria's a
smart
monster.
Man.
Come on.
Look at AJ putting his promoter hat on. Look at him. Look at him.
They should have brought me up as the promoter, man. I think that I'm the guy for the job, man. I think so. But let's keep running up this card. We got great fights throughout this entire thing, man. I absolutely love what we are potentially going to see next. It is Gunnar Nelson versus Takashi Sato. This is a pretty intriguing matchup here.
Yeah.
Gunnar Nelson's been out for a while, and guys that have been out for a considerable amount of time, do they concern me slightly? I'm going to say yes, they do. Reason being, Nelson, I'm not like, how do I put this respectfully, bro? How would we say this respectfully? I'm not super high on Gunnar Nelson. I never have been. I feel like his chin is up in the air. He's not super quick. He fights with that karate style, has good grappling. That's where he shines. In this fight, Takashi Sato, I know it's short notice, and I know people are going to say you're a madman, but he's got a judo background. People forget that he took Belal Muhammad down in their fight. People don't look that far back. Takashi Sato can grapple. They look at the Baeza fight of him getting choked out. Miguel Baeza, athletic kickboxer, different stylistic matchup. Sato's a damn dangerous striker. He's a southpaw, orthodox southpaw. I see the chin is high for Nelson. Am I crazy to say I think Takashi Sato has a chance to sleep Gunnar Nelson? Am I crazy to say it?
You're out of your mind, brother. Listen. Okay, let's break this thing down. The one thing you're not out of your mind about is Gunnar Nelson hasn't fought
for almost 3 years, dude. I think it's 2.5 exactly. Okay. 2 years and like 5 months.
You got us on that one. I don't know what version of Gunnar Nelson to expect. That's a big question mark. That in itself makes me really question betting on this fight. With that being said, Gunnar Nelson keeps his chin up in the air. Sato does karate and keeps his chin up in the air. Look at the wide stance Sato's got. He does tuck it, but his head's straight up like he's on a pole.
His head is straight.
He's the scarecrow in Wizard of Oz, bro. It's straight up in the freaking air. What are you talking about, AJ? And Sato took Belal Muhammad down. How dare you disrespect Belal Muhammad? Belal Muhammad slammed his ass and rear naked choked him. Belal Muhammad out-grappled him in that fight.
True.
He did Belal Muhammad took him down multiple times. Go ahead.
He did take him down. Go ahead. No, you're good. I just want to say he did take him down, though. I mean, he did. In the clinch, he threw him.
But he still got smashed in the grappling.
No, I agree. Finished. But even taking Belal down to me is a high success moment. As good of a wrestler as he's become. I don't know, man. I think Gunnar Nelson is not near the level of Belal. I think Belal destroys Gunnar Nelson if they face off. Would you agree?
I've trained with Belal Muhammad. I will never disrespect my man, Belal Muhammad. I don't need to get my ass kicked by Belal Muhammad, so I'm going to go ahead and just swerve that one like a politician, okay?
Shit.
However, I will say that Gunnar Nelson's grappling should be significantly better than Sato's. I think that he's going to get a takedown in this fight. I think he's going to smash him on the ground. I think he's going to do the same thing Belal was able to do. Get that rear naked choke, get the tap. I think that even on the feet, you saw how Sato was getting tagged by those hooks. Let's talk about the Belal fight. Belal was ripping him with, it was a cross to the body, left hook to the head. Belal hit him with it over and over again to the point where Belal wasn't even letting the cross to the body go anymore. He was just changing levels and then coming up with that lead hook. I think Gunnar Nelson sees all that stuff just like we see it, man. I think he's going to do perfectly fine on the feet. Here's the problem. Sato's got power. Sato's got some freaking, he's got some rocks in his hands. So we have to be careful. Gunnar Nelson coming off of a long layoff, fighting somebody with some pretty good power. Okay, I respect that. Be careful. But come on, man. Gunnar Nelson's a better grappler. He's going to get it done. And for those of you who question my man Gunnar Nelson, let's pull up the tape, guys. Who has Gunnar Nelson lost to? His last 2 fights, Gilbert Burns and Leon Edwards. Did those losses age well? Those
Very
two.
well.
Gilbert Burns is about to fight Hamzat, and Leon Edwards is due for a title shot. Okay,
Yeah.
he lost to the very top of the
True.
division. That's
True.
not Sato. I got Gunnar Nelson in this one. Rear naked choke, 3rd round. I think he's getting on top in this fight. Could get a little ground and pound going. Gunnar's not big on epic ground and pound. I think he is big on some epic strangles, and I think Gunnar Nelson's going to get to the top position in this fight. And like you're saying on the feet, he does karate. I see the same wide ass stance with the head up for Sato too. So I think it's a wash on the feet. There is a risk that Gunnar gets KO'd. Of course, there's a risk.
There is.
I don't think it's enough. I'm going Nelson.
Shit, man. I have to stick with Sato. I'm sticking with my guns, my friend. I'm sticking with Sato, bro.
All right.
I'm going against you here. Now, of course, it's definitely possible, but I have to go Sato for the win. I feel like win, knockout potentially. Let's jump on it, bro. What are we doing? At the end of the day, betting side of things, let's look at the lines.
Okay.
Minus 420 for Gunnar Nelson, plus 415 Sato. Throw me on the fucking tinfoil hat team for Takashi Sato. Let's go. Tinfoil hat in it, bro. Win, knockout. Let's go. Now, I will say, if you want to make a little money in the over-unders, maybe minus 125 over a round and a half. If Satos can stay on his feet for a little while, he might get the KO, but it also might be beat down for Gunnar Nelson. It's possible, bro. Like, I'm not saying, oh my God, Sato, my lock of the week. No way. But I like that power. I like the chance, bro. I got to go with the chance here, man. I'm going with the chance. I'm riding the chance. I don't like riding the chance, but I'm feeling the chance, man. We're going Sato by knockout. I'm feeling that the Irish luck is coming through from my man Sato. Let's get it. Let's go.
Damn. Fair enough. I will say those odds are a little wide.
If it was a closer odd, then like it's a different conversation. But even picking, I don't know why I was watching footage of Sato and I was like, man, maybe he has a small chance out of hell here. Short notice replacement. Nelson out for a while, dude. I don't know, bro. I think Nelson might get knocked out. I know this is not the best match comparison, but when you look at the Ponzinibbio fight, Nelson got touched up by some big shots. If Sato can have a little bit of success, we'll see what happens, bro. We're going Sato here, man. Fuck it. Let's go. Dog, baby.
I like it. AJ, jump on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, this next fight, it is Molly Meatball McCann and Luana Carolina. I'm confused why this is a big spot on the main card and Timur Valiev Jack Shores on the prelims.
Because of the location, brother.
I feel like, but Jack Shores, he's a British man. Aren't they? They're all there, right? Throw them on. I guess they need to show the meatball. She trains with Patty Pimblett.
You know who? That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, that's the reason. I answered it, bro. I guess that's the reason. You're right. Now, looking at the fight, I think Luana Carolina's the better striker. I think Molly McCann definitely having the reach disadvantage, could have some problems kickboxing. Like, I watched Luana Carolina fight, and I've picked against her numerous times, and it's bit me in the ass. Because Luana Carolina has just an awkward, tricky style. She's a pretty athletic girl. You look at the wrestling, she'll get taken down, but she's scrambly on the ground. She finds a way to get back up to her feet. Molly McCann is not somebody that I have as my, 10 out of 10. This girl is fighting for the belt. She's a tough girl, good pressure forward, a little bit of heavy hands. But I think Carolina's technical Muay Thai is a big difference maker. Being the longer fighter is a factor. Speed advantage. Dude, I think Luana Carolina has this fight, man. I'm going Luana decision, bro.
Whoa, picking against the hometown girl in her crib, in her own crib. She's in her backyard. You said Carolina's taking her house. Oh, shit. Okay, look. Shit. McCann is a beast. Why? Because when she fought, I think it was Priscilla Cachoeira. Forgive me if I'm getting the fight wrong. She's in the 3rd round of this fight, and she clearly has won the fight, right? So Cachoeira is trying to close some distance on her or whatever, and instead of letting her close the distance, she literally turns, runs away, gives her the bird, jumps the fence, and jumps into her corner's hands. I thought that was the most gangster shit I have ever seen. I like it. I'm a fan for sure since that moment. I think she has much better takedowns, which is interesting to say for a European fighter. But, I do think that she's going to be able to hit those double legs just simply on the height disadvantage, because when you're lower, when you got a lower center of gravity and you could bend your knees and hit those shots like we've seen her do, I think her shoulder is going to go right into those hips. Her hands are going to pull on those knees. I think she's going to fold her like a lawn chair when she needs to. And that will be a key in this fight, because Carolina's tricky on the feet. Like you said, it's very methodical. It's hard to get her timing down. She's a little awkward and real relaxed. Carolina goes out there, looks like she just woke up from a nap. So, Carolina could have some success on the feet in this fight. Not extremely sold on either lady, but I just think that Molly's going to be able to go ahead and close the distance and get the takedown.
British bias potentially too with the judges, you think, if it goes long?
What, you think a bullshit decision? What are you saying?
That if McCann lands something, the crowd's going crazy. If Carolina lands a spinning back kick, they might be silent. So there's definitely a chance that even just a little bit of moments are going to steal the round in a fight that might even be a toss-up. So that could be something too. With the crowd, definitely is going to be on the British side, which I'm actually really excited for, because stateside, we don't get that. Let's be honest, outside of, maybe some Russian fighters as of late, the UFC fans ain't really in America booing off ethnicities, right? We're not picking and choosing just USA guys. Everybody's getting cheered no matter where they're from. In England, British fighters are getting the pop. Carolina's going to be getting booed, man. There ain't going to be no cheers for her, which I'm really excited for that too, bro. And Volkov, when he comes out, is going to get crazy boos, bro. Crazy boos. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, some of that probably is because of the success and the size of the U.S. If you come from a smaller country, you just feel like you need somebody to go put on for your country. We've got the biggest economy in human history. You can keep going on and on. There's a lot of reasons why I think people in the U.S. tend to just pick their favorite fighters. Conor McGregor is the biggest fighter in the U.S. They don't care that he's Irish. They probably like it. Matter of fact, I tell people all the time, my Russian friend Artur comes here, is I don't know, can I get a date? Our girl's I'm like, dude, they're gonna love that you're Russian. If you're Irish or you're somewhere else and you're in the US, you are automatically cooler. If you were born somewhere else and you came here, automatically conversation starter. I don't know what it's like that in other areas. So the US
I don't know
is a
either.
Different. So little excuse there for why people in the US don't always root for their own. It's because we're on top, y'all. Not trying to hate. Okay, so with that being said, will it affect the judging? That's possible. Although I just was at Bellator last weekend, and JJ Wilson was in a fight with a Dagestani that was very close, and the whole crowd was popping for JJ Wilson. I thought Wilson kind of won round 1 and 2. It was close. Dagestani won round 3, and sure enough, all the judges went UD Dagestan. So, with that being said, I don't know how much the judges are swayed by the crowd noise. I think maybe we overrate that a little bit. That's literally part of their training. It's one of the things they're cognitive about. With that being said, everybody's a human. I don't know. I think that judging is, just off no matter what. So if you remember back, like Michael Bisping versus Anderson Silva was really close. It went to Bisping. So maybe on that side of the pond, they might be a little biased. I don't know. There might be an argument there. Nothing definitive. I don't think I would even consider that as a major factor here. I think the major factor is going to be the takedowns of Molly McCann, and I think that the striking will remain close. I've got Molly McCann just doing enough to get the decision here. I think Carolina's dangerous. I'd like to see her throw some knees when McCann changes levels. And, of course, McCann likes to let her hands go, too. There are opportunities there to catch her. Fun fight, man.
I like it, bro. I'm going the Carolina side. Mike leaning the Molly side now. As far as the betting side, Molly McCann -134. Best value. Luana Carolina, you're looking at plus money, +115. This is an interesting one. I personally am kind of just sit out on the bet here from me personally. I'm not going to be throwing down. But McCann decision +130. Carolina decision +210. If you're feeling the decision side, I would be a little bit surprised if we got a finish here. It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible in the fight game. But I think more likely we're going long between these two. We're going long here.
That makes sense to me, man. That makes a lot of sense to me. It's a good matchup, you know, two tough girls, and I like the hometown advantage for McCann. More so like she'll hear the crowd noise and she'll turn it up. That's what I mean. She seems like more of an emotional type of fighter. Remember the example I gave you, her flicking off her
Yeah,
opponent?
facts.
So you know, hopefully that'll give her some wind under her sails there. With that being said, Carolina's a beast. Definitely one where I'm keeping my wallet in my pocket.
Yeah, staying in my pocket as well. Let's keep running. Now, interesting situation here. It's Arnold Allen versus Dan Hooker. And I think of this. Dan Hooker was
Oh,
never a great featherweight. He was never even really a good featherweight. He was a mid-tier featherweight. He goes up to lightweight and I mean, not top contender, but he's a top 10 guy without a doubt. Very skilled, filling out his frame well. Now he decides, I'm going to dehydrate back down to 45. Has he evolved as a fighter? Certainly, but the body is still the same body, and he's a little bit older now. I don't think it's an easy weight cut. Mike, of course, you got a lot of experience weight cutting, so I want to ask you some questions here. He weighed in at 162, I believe, 2 days ago, something like that. Is that a bad amount of weight to cut that close, you know, on the same week heading into a fight with Arnold Allen? Is that too much, or do you think he's ready? You think he'll be at 45 pretty easily?
no, especially since he's got a lot of time. No, look, water can just go in and out, you know.
Mm,
I think most people understand, but basically what they're doing is they're not losing weight, they're
right.
cutting weight. It's a big difference when you could just sweat it out and put it right back in. You know, Forrest Griffin used to, it's like 25 pounds he would put back on after. I know that sounds ridiculous, but
Holy
if
sh-
you go look it up, he actually would take pictures on his scale. He'd be 25 pounds heavier the next day. Huh? I know it's insane, right? I
Yeah.
don't like cutting that much weight, AJ. When I
Yeah.
fought, I would only cut 8 pounds. I'd only
Okay.
cut about 8 pounds, man. I like feeling
Same
good
day
when I
weigh-ins
fight.
or night before?
About 36 hours out, I start
Okay.
my
Okay.
cut,
Okay.
you know, for some of these guys, they're cutting for like 4 days, which I
Yeah.
just don't think is good for your longevity. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
You know, I much prefer to go extreme 24 hours and then come back. So 24, 36 hours, no more than 48, man. I'm not trying to cut weight for more than 2 days here. A lot of people do it differently. Respect to them. You know, something that's not talked about very often is some people use diuretics to cut weight. And what they do is they take a pill and then they pee and they pee all the weight out. And you could do that in mixed martial arts because you have more than 24 hours to recoup. So actually it'll wear out of your system, right? I actually have tried it doing wrestling, and in wrestling you weigh in like 2 hours before you compete. So I'd be taking these diuretic pills, I'd make weight, and then I'm like exhausted when I go compete. Kind of doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
So I think that you know, that weight that he has to cut, he doesn't need any extra help. He'll be able to cut it super natural. Just get him in
Okay.
the sauna, and that's perfectly fine. No, I'm not concerned with him making 145. I'm truly not. With that being said, Hooker at 145 is an interesting thing to talk about because he just got
Mm,
used to these 55ers who are stronger and just one speed slower, right?
yeah.
So now he's going to get up to one speed faster in an Arnold Allen, who's been on fire, who's undefeated in the UFC. And you know, Arnold Allen's no slouch with the grappling either, man. So my question is not that can he make the weight, but will it play any factor? You know, will it
Mm.
play any factor him going back down to 145? That's a question that is going to have to be answered after the fight. Going into it, AJ, he's a former 145er. He's a pretty thin guy. He's got like big arms. Like he's
He
not
does have big
very, he's a
arms, though.
lean
Yeah, but he's
guy.
got a small torso.
I don't think he's gonna have a problem making the weight.
Yeah. And as far as the fight now, let's talk this. Concerns, I guess, on the Hooker side are, can you keep it standing? If you go to the floor, can he find a way back up? Arnold Allen's striking is not bad. I'm not like looking at Arnold Allen as, the best of the best in kickboxing. He's not, Giga Chikadze and people out there, but he's pretty okay standing. And with the grappling threat, he'll find success. So concerns for me are, I guess, Hooker being in a competitive striking match at points and then getting taken down. Decision, I could see the Allen side. Decision, I can see the Hooker side. It's been hard for me really between these two all week long. I've been talking about, like, I want to wait to see them on the scales to really know where I'm going with Hooker, dropping that weight. But I like what you're saying here. You're giving me a little more confidence that Hooker will be good to go in the fight
I
as
think
far as the
so.
weight goes.
I
But
think so.
as far as the fight goes, how do you like this matchup? Do you see Allen being a guy that gives Hooker a lot of problems? City kickboxing guys have good takedown defense for the most part. Granted, Makhachev took them down easy, but it's Makhachev. Come on. Makhachev has proven that he's there's different levels to the game. He's up there. Like he's championship caliber, and of course Hooker's not going to win that.
I got to talk to Islam Makhachev last week. He was cornering in Bellator,
shit.
and I asked him backstage. I said, Islam, what do you think about that fight? He said, brother, you hit takedown, easy fight. Easy fight. That's what he told me. So he's like, you take somebody down, it's easy for these Dagestanis. That's what they do. They change levels. They take you down. That's how they win without a struggle. That's exactly what Islam did against Hooker. That looked like a light heavyweight on top of a flyweight. That was insane. Yeah. When he was on top of Hooker, it was like, not is Hooker going to get up? It's like, oh my God, what limb is Islam going to choose to rip off? It was a complete mismatch in the grappling. And when I look at Arnold Allen, while he doesn't have that size and that strength and that wrestling feel that Islam's got, I think his submission game is right there. His submission game is excellent. It's better than Hooker's. Hooker cannot be on his back in this fight. That's a horrible place to be. And I'll tell you what, when people see your last fight, when you got submitted or when you have a certain issue, they see you get knocked out, gives them that little bit of confidence when they're in that cage, man. They're like, I know I can do it. I've seen this guy lose this way before. I'll be able to go ahead and find this finish. So with that being said, I like Allen in this fight. I don't think it's the right matchup for Hooker, man. I would think that the UFC could have given him, a little easier fight than this, man. Allen's been on an absolute roll. And here's why I'm not picking Hooker in this fight. At the end of the day, what does Hooker have to do? He has to out kickbox you. He has to show you that city kickboxing. He's got a nice knee he throws. He's got a nice lead hook. I don't think those will be extremely effective against Allen. Allen is very technical. He looks down the gun, as Mike Winklejohn says, likes to fight very, conservative as far as like the risk taking, the risk management. He's not out there banging like Patty Pimblett. He's not got the blonde hair flying, just throwing right hooks and left hooks and screaming at the camera. That's not him, man. He tucks his chin. He fights smart. I think that fight IQ of Arnold Allen will get him the dub in this one. I think it's going to be a close fight on the feet and that Allen's the better grappler. That's all I need to see. I think the win streak continues for Allen, and unfortunately, the skid continues for Hooker, because we got to admit, I'm a Hangman fan, brother. How about you?
Same. I like Dan Hooker, bro. I just hate this fight. I hate this matchup. I was picking Hooker early in the week, but as time has gone on, man, I've been thinking about this fight all week. Like, it's been one of those fights that have really been in my head, and I just feel like, I think we're gonna see win for the Arnold Allen side, man. I hate saying it, bro. You know that I hate doing that, bro. I hate, leaning towards one way and then switching it another way. I've gotten my ass kicked doing it in the past, but dude, here, come on, man. It's very hard not to go with the side of Arnold Allen. I'm going to have to shift my guns, man. And it might fucking blow up in my face, but too much, man. Too much. I think Hooker's a live dog. If he did win, I would be okay. That's great for Hooker. He has the abilities, but yeah, I think Arnold Allen is definitely the spot. If you're on the betting side of things, I will note this. Arnold Allen is a pretty money play. He's sitting at around -112, -110, -120. Like, he's a pretty close money favorite. Sure. Hooker +105. I feel like one thing I like about this fight is potentially going a bit longer here. I do think we might go decision, Mike. Do you kind of have that same feeling, or do you think actually Allen might get the sub?
I think Allen might get the sub, but yeah, okay. I could see this thing going all three for sure. Look, I just think Allen's a finisher, man. And on top of that, like I said, he just saw what happened to our man here, Hooker, and I think he's going to try to replicate that performance. He won't. I mean, it's not going to be a 1-minute smash, but I do think that he's going to get some dominant positions in this fight and threaten with submissions, and we'll see where Hooker's game's at. City kickboxing, great kickboxing gym, not the best jiu-jitsu gym in the world. And I think that Arnold Allen being on a roll, I don't see why that train stops here, man. I don't think Hooker, the way they match up, I just don't like. Hooker's weapons are pretty neutralized by Allen, and Allen's weapons should shine against Hooker. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I'm going to go decision, though. I guess what you see a lot from Allen as of late is wins by decision.
Facts.
Look back, his last win by finish, funny enough, was against your guy Mads Burnell over from Bellator. He choked him out with a front choke.
My guy Mads. Okay, we gotta give Mads a shout out. What a gangster Mads Burnell is. If you guys did not see his last Bellator fight against Adam Boric. It was an insane fight. After the fight, the dude is calling people out in the back. His eye is as big as a football, and the dude is calling people out for his next fight. Shout out to Mads Burnell, a man's man, a true fighter.
Yeah, he's a savage, bro. And Allen getting a sub over him is pretty impressive.
Big deal.
I'm going to go Allen. I'm going to go decision. I'm not going to jump on the win via submission side, but you're kind of thinking sub here, or you're thinking
late sub? I'm going to go Allen
sub
with a 3rd round sub.
I like it. I like it. Me and Mike both on Arnold Allen. Unfortunate change of pace, man. I was trying to pick Hooker, bro, but I don't feel comfortable picking him, and I'm not going to. Let's keep
Anthony
running.
Rivera, Arnold Club and Sub. Isn't that your saying, AJ? Club and Sub. So there we go. Anthony Rivera, Medina,
shout out to
Club
Anthony,
and Sub.
bro.
Papa Chuck, Hooker via decision. Look, I see it, guys. I see it. Hey, maybe some biased judging could come through for Hooker, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know though, man. What's the likelihood of that? You have a UK guy in Allen versus a New Zealand guy in Hooker. I don't know.
Oh, good point. Allen's UK. I totally forgot that.
Yeah,
okay,
dude,
never mind. Never mind.
Dude,
if
Allen's
bad judging goes for Allen.
It's going
I think of Hooker as being across the pond. Of course, Hooker's New Zealand, trains in Australia. Am I crazy? Is that?
Yep.
Accurate?
That's accurate. That's accurate, man. That's accurate. I'm excited for this fight, man. That is a pretty good matchup. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is the baddie, Paddy Pimblett versus Rodrigo Vargas. We get to see these two face off. I'm pretty stoked to see this fight happen, man. I'm stoked. I want to see what Paddy the baddie brings here. Now, I don't think that Kazula Vargas is a dynamite puncher, but he is a southpaw Mexican fighter who has durability, forward pressure, has some pops. He has like wide straights he'll throw, decent straight hand, the straight left. I mean, if Paddy Pimblett's chin is up in the air, it could be clubbed clean off by an overhand by Vargas. On the floor, I don't think Vargas is bad. Now, we look at Paddy Pimblett, especially guys that didn't follow him at all outside of the UFC, as more of a striker. Everything I always heard about Paddy is his grappling. On the ground is where we see him do his best work. Can he get a submission here against Kazula Vargas? I definitely think it's possible. Could he get a ground and pound TKO? Definitely think it's possible. On the feet, I think Vargas has his best shot. Is if Paddy Pimblett wants to try to do what he did to Vendramini here and he ends up getting caught with something stupid. I don't think that happens. I think Paddy Pimblett does get it to the floor, and I do think he wins this fight. I am thinking he locks up some type of submission here. Are you kind of feeling the Paddy Pimblett sub side here?
Paddy Pimblett could definitely get a submission. Paddy Pimblett has got this energy about him where he's just going for the finish, man. You could just imagine this guy just, laying on the gas pedal and going for it. So if Paddy Pimblett wins, I honestly think it's early. And the longer this fight goes, the more you have an opportunity to let Paddy miss that finish, right? Because what we see sometimes is when guys lay on the gas pedal and they don't get the finish, now you got another couple rounds to fight, so I could see Paddy going through some adversity like that as well. Is Vargas the guy to beat him? I don't think so. I'm going to say something really bold about Paddy Pimblett, and hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me. I think this guy is the most overrated fighter in the UFC right now. He's due to get knocked out because of the way he throws. It's not just in the fights, by the way. If you look at even the way Paddy Pimblett hits the bag, big wide left hook, big wide right hook. You want to talk about chin up in the air. This dude has his chin up in the stratosphere. Somebody can close their eyes and tag that chin. So somebody with their eyes open who's a good counter striker, man, he is due to get smacked. With that being said, big respect to Paddy Pimblett because this guy has got people excited. This guy has been able to just get this huge following, all this energy, and Vargas has got to feel it stepping in there with him. You got to feel like you're the sacrificial lamb. You got to feel like you're there to lose when you're fighting Paddy Pimblett at this point, So even just that aspect coming into the fight does change it when things get tough, when the going gets tough. I think Paddy Pimblett's going to try to bite down on his mouthpiece and double down. And I think Vargas could, potentially get overwhelmed here. So yes, I think Paddy Pimblett's going to win this fight. I think he hits pretty hard, pretty aggressive, and he should have just an edge in grappling in this fight. I think Paddy Pimblett wins wherever it goes. I like Pimblett in this one. I'll go ahead and take him. However, I think his time's going to come, man. I think when somebody takes their time and just snipes this dude, they're going to find that chin. Is Vargas the guy? Don't think so.
I don't think he's the guy, but yeah, I think Paddy's personality sells. I think his look sells. I think we need to give him the safety first treatment as far as matchmaking, because I do think you have a guy that can sell. And
Yeah.
could you imagine if you somehow get Paddy to win a couple big fights, McGregor, Paddy Pimblett, that would be one of the biggest European events ever. I mean, I really feel like that is the fight that I would strive towards seeing, but he's got to beat Vargas. I think he does, but a win over Vargas, Vendramini is not huge. That's two, more the back end wins in as far as the lightweight division goes. We're going Pimblett. If you're betting Pimblett, though, you're kind of in a shit situation because there's not a lot of money to be made. He's a minus 480 favorite. Vargas plus
Jeez,
450.
that is ridiculous, by the way.
He's a huge favorite. I guess it's the Pimblett flair, bro. Paddy Pimblett inside distance minus 170. If you go Pimblett by submission plus 190, KO plus 210. There's not much you can do with Paddy Pimblett here, man. Do you think you think it goes what? Under around that excuse me. Under a round and a half? What do you think?
I think Pimblett's going to come out hot, man. I think Pimblett sees this fight as an opportunity to show what he's capable of before they give him that higher level competition. So it's another one of those where I think the mindset of their camp is to go for a finish. I'll take Paddy the Batty in the first round. However, I think those odds are absurd. I think this is a much closer fight than the bookies are telling you. And, just be careful with your money, man. If you're putting money on Pimblett, sheesh, I don't like that money line.
Yeah, under 1.5 is not bad, though. Minus 120. Maybe that's your go-to. I think that's the way to play.
More reasonable.
Yeah, that's definitely it because the line is disgusting. We both got Paddy Pimblett for the win over Vargas. It is time to jump to the main event of the evening. Alexander Volkov versus Tom Aspinall. Fantastic matchup. Guys, if you're watching and you're enjoying, please smash the hell out of that like button. Smish the likes. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Keep it locked in here at MMA Experts. I am AJ. That is my man, Mike Finch. And we are talking this UFC Fight Night London card. It's main event time. Alexander Volkov, Tom Aspinall. Dude, I'm impressed with Aspinall's potential, but this is, I would call the ultimate test for him. I mean, this is a fucking scary matchup, dude.
Yeah.
This is a very hard fight. Alexander Volkov is long. He's tall. He's a talented kickboxer. One thing that I like for Aspinall is Volkov is definitely at a fair disadvantage for the speed. Tom Aspinall is pretty quick in the heavyweight division. And if you're quicker than Volkov, you can press him. And let's be honest, Aspinall size-wise is one of the few guys that he's looking near eye to eye. There's about a 2-inch height difference, 6'5", 6'7", reach is about 3 inches. Dude, I don't know, man. Volkov fighting off the back foot. I feel like Aspinall finds ways inside. I think his boxing is a lot better. Straight hands definitely favors Aspinall. Add the kicks in, Volkov is decent, but I think something that also gets underrated with Aspinall, he's a pretty good grappler. He's not bad on the floor, especially in the heavyweight division. I mean, if you're good on the ground, that heavyweight, you have a little bit of decent jiu-jitsu, you got some good mobility and speed, you can go a long way. Add in the knockout power, add in, I guess I would say even the physicality, being a 6'5" guy. He's a very big dude. Dude, I think Tom Aspinall's a problem for most guys here at 265. I'm going Tom Aspinall knockout. Mike, what do you think about this fight?
I like the pick, and I like the observation of Aspinall's speed. I think Aspinall is very fast for a heavyweight. Volkov, ever since he's been touching that weight room, ever since his weight has been going north, his speed has been going south.
He's slow now.
That makes it, a large mismatch in that one specific area. When I first met Alexander Volkov, he was a younger fighter. It was 2014. It was at Bellator 120, which was 8 years ago and 157 Bellators ago. So I've been following Volkov for a long time. And, being 6'7", it's obviously hard for anybody to get away from him in that cage. So, it's been fun to see what he could do against all of these huge names in his storied UFC career. I don't have to tell you guys about. With that being said, him being the taller guy, my favorite thing about this matchup for him is that Aspinall, when you throw a right hand at him, and Aspinall showed this a lot in the Andrei Arlovski fight, but you could find it in other fights as well, he likes to kind of exit out the back and lean back. That
That's
is
slick
not
lean.
the best response against Volkov. If Volkov's arm is just going to keep unraveling on him, and I think he'll be surprised and hopefully make an adjustment if he hasn't already made it in training, because Aspinall does have other responses to the right hand. He weaves pretty well, and he also uses his feet. He can bounce in and out. I like how light he is on his feet. I do think he's going to be able to dominate the first round specifically and use his speed. I just wonder, as this fight goes on, who's going to dig deeper. You know, if Aspinall cannot get him out of there, if Aspinall is going to, be in a more competitive fight with him over rounds, as this thing goes in 3, 4, 5, I don't know what Aspinall is going to look like. There's a lot of question marks for me. So, I like some of those earlier fights to bet on, as we talked about. Not one I'm huge on, but I got to go Aspinall. I got to think this is a big moment for him. Main event against Volkov. It's a big deal. This should be a solid performance from him because I like the way these two match up. Aspinall doesn't have to worry about the takedown. He could truly show us what he's capable of on the feet. If me and AJ are right, he has a significant speed advantage, and that might come to fruition via KO. Hard guy to knock out, Volkov. Very rangy, very experienced, has some tools of his own, but Aspinall all day. I like him kickboxing in this fight. I think he's able to at least win a decision, but who knows, man? Maybe he could even get Volkov out of there early. Aspinall is a finisher.
Yeah, Aspinall looks good, dude. I mean, it's not an easy feat to get Volkov out. I mean, look at the knockout loss. Derek Lewis, Vitaly Minakov in his absolute prime. Volkov's not an easy fight. And you know what's crazy, man? I remember back in the day, Volkov versus Brett Rogers. You remember that fight?
Yeah.
That was so underwhelming to me. I don't know. It's just, there's something to know that popped up in my mind, man.
Throwback,
bro. Throwback, man. We got one comment I got to bring up here, man. Who's winning the signed hat, Mike? We got one donation in the chat.
We had
Houdini
one
Beats is
donation, brother. I guess it's going out there. And
Houdini
apparently it
Beats.
wasn't even in US dollars. I got tricked. So you guys can beat him. Throw us some USD and the hat's going.
Yeah, if you want that Mike Finch hat, he's gonna sign it for you. He'll send it to you. The way we'll pick somebody, and then if you really do want it, hit him up on Instagram DM, and we'll get the address information, and Mike will send it out to you. We're not joking around about that. We'll really make it happen.
Mike Finch MMA on Instagram.
Check him out. Check him out. Hit him up. We're both on the same side here. Now, the betting side here is interesting. Aspinall's a -115 favorite. Volkov +110. Pretty close and competitive odds. Now, I'm looking at something here that I like. Under 3.5 is -115. Over 3.5, -105. I feel like if Aspinall wins this fight, it's less than 3.5 rounds. If Volkov wins, I see it going later. I think if you're on the Volkov side, maybe, or if you're not even on the Volkov side, you're betting Aspinall, but you're like a little bit concerned. Maybe you go Volkov late, you live bet him. That could be something to keep in mind. Volkov potentially winning a decision, but I see Aspinall, dude. I think Tom Aspinall by KO in the first 3 rounds is likely. I think his best bet is first 2. Am I concerned? Definitely, bro, because he's a prospect. I'm not loading him up on the money line. I'm not loading him up with the parlays. I'm going to fucking just stay safe, sit out, relax. Maybe I touch him under 3.5 and I parlay that up with Aspinall if my book allows, but I might just play under 3.5 here, Mike, and not go nuts with it, but touch the line and hope for the best, because I think that's pretty good value, man.
He's a finisher, so I like the assessment. I agree. We're on the same page with it. You know, Sergey Spivak, who just ran through our guy Greg Hardy, he was able to get him out of there in the first round. Andrei Arlovsky, second round rear naked choke. Alan Badeau, winning ground and pound in the first round. Jake Collier, who's tough to finish, first round finish. First round finish. You just look through here. Aspinall puts people away. So if you're betting on Aspinall, you might think about sprinkling in on that finish. You guys know me. I generally go money line. However, Aspinall, true finisher. Volkov, somebody who you could see, moving enough and presenting enough problems to where this thing goes a little longer. That's Volkov's best bet. We agree 100% on this one, brother.
I like it. Man. He also, Billy wants to throw in that $25 Amazon card to anybody willing to challenge it. I like that.
Let's go. I like it. Throw in a $25 Amazon card. So what? You're sponsoring the giveaway. Billy Barnes just sweetened it up, guys. You got to get something for somebody coming up here because Amazon's got you on that 24-hour shipping. Billy Barnes has got you on the card. Let's go.
We got to set some of these giveaways up for the money line.
Sponsor live on air. Did you see that?
That was sick. I like it. I like it. Let's get it. Let's go, man. Hopefully we can
You.
pick a
I'll cheers out at the end.
Cheers it out at the end for us. Now I do want to know plus 195. Plus 195. Knockout prop. Aspinall. I like that line too. That's another line that I like. I think that's pretty nice, dude.
That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me, man. We sort of agree on this one. Again, you know, it's not my favorite bet of the card.
Yeah.
But Aspinall should be able to get to him. You know, I would be really surprised if Aspinall didn't look great in that first round.
Yeah, facts. Hat and a $25 Amazon card drop. So anybody don't know is, I guess, eligible for it. Let's go. I'm in on that. We're fishing for it. Let's get it. That'll be sick, bro. Hell yeah. I'm very excited, man. I'm on Aspinall. You're on Aspinall. You know what that means, though. We just covered the main event. It is time that we jump towards the lock of the night section. Lock of the night. Moneyline lock of the night from me and my guy Mike Finch. We're both gonna pick our locks of the night. This is honestly my favorite segment of the week, bro. I get fucking stoked for this one here. St. Patrick's Day special, so hopefully we got a little Irish luck on our sides. You got the Ireland shirt on, bro. This shirt is straight out of Ireland. This is a legit Ireland shirt. I'm not even messing with it. This is from Ireland, so I'm digging the material. Shout out to the Irish folk out there around the world. Much love to everybody watching. Smash the likes if you guys haven't subscribed. If you're new, I'm going to go first with the lock of the night, Mike, because I just have a bad feeling you might steal my pick. I have a feeling you're going to do the same one as me, so I got to beat you to it. I'm going Mike Grundy as my lock of the night. I feel like the value is great and the likelihood of victory is pretty decent. I'm going to go Mike Grundy lock of the night minus 165. You can find him upwards of minus 195. If you can play him around the minus 170 range, I think you are in good. Give me Mike Grundy money line lock of the night. And I also should probably show the beautiful graphic here for the lock of the night segment. Look at that bad boy. Look at that dollar bill. If you're making hundreds, we're making thousands, baby. Let's go.
The money line with the top hat on. Damn, man. Lock of the night. You see Benjamin Franklin peeking there under lock. Man, these graphics are another level on this show, my friend. You ready for mine?
Let's go.
Listen, brother, obviously Topuria is a great option here, but those odds are a little wide. You know, I hate to go locks on favorites. You know, we like to get it real close on these locks, but this one's just too obvious, man. Sergey Pavlovich is going to come out there, let his hands go, and put away his 40-year-old opponent. I think it's going down in the first round. If you want to get a little crazier, I got Sergey. I got him by KTFO. For you kids at home who don't know that one, Google it. That means he's getting knocked out. Listen, he's just got way more speed. He's in his prime. His opponent's not. The matchup makes perfect sense because he doesn't have to worry too much about the takedown. Gotta love that fight, man. Sergey Pavlovich all day, knockout, easy pick for me.
Easy peasy. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I think it's easy money. Overall, I think the card is fucking sweet. I will be live for the entire thing, so you guys know where to tune in right here at the MMA Experts channel. 125 likes on that live stream, and you got the shoey action. I got the shoe right here, actually. Let me show it off. Look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy. Smells
he smelled it.
Fucking fresh. Look at this bad boy.
What does it smell like, bro? Give us the report.
It smells like last week's liquor. To be honest with you, man.
Nah.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Mike, you'll be doing a shoey eventually. I'll get you to do one, man. I'll get you a few shots.
One of the like Dana White shoeys where he had it like in a wrapper. You see that?
That's fair. We can do that. I'll count
like it. Maybe that'll work, you know. As soon as AJ goes jogging in it, you could count me out, bro. That's a wrap for that one. Queen is saying, ew, I detest the shoey. Queen, look, I ain't drinking it. So if you need to look on this side of the screen, you know, and not look at the shoe, like go ahead. I got some entertaining shit to look at over here. If you guys are watching them live, you might just need to hit the kitchen for a second because the shoey is graphic. AJ does the real deal. Yes, he hawks a loogie in it and then drinks the liquid.
Tai Tuivasa would be fucking proud, man. I sent him a DM too. I said, "Yo, Ty, check this out." I sent him the shoe. I said, and then I commented. I was one of the first people comment on his post. I said, "Yo, Ty, check your DMs. It's me with the shoe like this." Unfortunately, he never got back to me. So it is
Oh,
what it is.
come on.
Unfortunately,
He's gonna
man.
see it, bro. He's gonna see
Eventually.
it. You do an epic shoey and you do it traditional style. I like it.
Yes. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I got to keep it classic, bro. Got to keep it classic, man. We appreciate everybody for tuning in to another fantastic episode of the Money Line. Mike, tell them where to find you. Where can we find Mike Finch, bro?
Guys, we're just going to keep dropping stuff all through social media. My favorite, of course, go ahead and follow us on YouTube, The Mike Finch Show. You just type in Mike Finch MMA. I'll pop up right away, youtube.com/Mike Finch. We're going to keep dropping stuff, man. We got more on the way. We got more interviews coming through. The Mike Winklejohn interview's up. You guys will see constant content coming out. We're just going to keep doubling down and doubling down. I'm going to try to do a post-fight here. So after this Aspinall and Volkov fight, you guys will see my thoughts after the fact. And, of course, I'll touch base on a couple of the other picks. So we'll start doing some post shows, guys. I'll get that up on Sunday morning right after the fights. Check on the channel. And of course, keep it locked in here with my guy AJ from Moneyline. I think he's going to be live for this one. Yeah.
Live for the whole thing, baby. Every week, brother. Every week, I am live for several hours. I love it, bro. You know I love the lives. Also, note this. If you want to find Mike Finch, you can check right in the description. I already linked him up, man. He's set and ready to go. Give him the subscribe, man. You want to subscribe to this guy. Help him out. He's building his platform. He's coming on here. We're having a great time. The Moneyline is a staple show, and I absolutely fucking love it. And I'm excited for Mike's future success as well. He's got a lot of big things coming. I'm excited to see this post-fight takes with Mike Finch, bro. I think it's a good idea. I got more ideas for you, bro, that I'll throw at you off air, bro. We'll make some things happen for you. I'm excited, dude. I'm pumped. I'm pumped, man.
I appreciate that, brother. I keep running into all these fighters at the gym. I just keep putting in little notes to interview them. So saw Czech Congo today. I talked to Giga Chikadze today via Instagram. So, we're going to get some interviews lined up. We're going to get some interviews lined up, guys. The content will keep coming. We appreciate you guys coming through, sticking with us through the whole show. I love that the comments were blowing up. The love, the hate. I appreciate it all. Thank you.
Absolutely. Much love, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody watching live. Shout out to everybody watching on replay as well. Got to give the replay gang a shout out. Smash those likes, guys. If you're new, subscribe. And don't forget to turn those post notifications on. Mike's going to finish it off with a final shot. And you should also give him a subscribe on his YouTube channel. Link in the description, The Mike Finch Show. Come on, Mike. Send us off with the shot, my brother.
All right, my friend. To Houdini Beats and Billy Barnes, absolutely killing it today with all of the love, sending us stuff, giving us stuff. Guys.
Houdini Beats, DM my man Mike. He's got you.
There it is. Hit me up.
There we go. Shot. I am AJ. That is Mike Finch. We are out of here. Much love. See you guys tomorrow for this week's weigh-in recap show. Peace, everybody.